BTB Wood-Fired Pizza and Grill, where no Friday is a bad Friday as you ease into the weekend. You got the Tyson-Paul fight tonight. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. No cover when you're at BTB. Grab your friends, grab some food, get a cold drink, and settle in. Over 50 TVs at BTB. You're not going to miss one punch. Well, Mike Tyson just beaten. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Tyson-Paul fight. Also on Fridays, there's fish fry dinners. Dine in or take out. And you know what's right around the corner? Thanksgiving. Sneaking up on us. Let BTB do the Thanksgiving cooking for you with their takeout reheat meals. They come in pans ready to warm in the oven and can be thrown away after. No cooking, minimal cleanup, and more time to actually enjoy your family. Be sure to give them a call today to place your order, and they'll have it ready for you Wednesday at any time you would like. Call 585-865-6510 or BTB Rock. That's BTBROC.com. Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's got their Black Friday sales event going on right now. That means huge savings for you. Look, the weather is going to change. The lake is warm. The cold weather comes across that. We could have one snowy winter. You want to have something that's going to be safe and reliable for you and your family. And you'll find it at Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Like a new 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, $249 per month for 42 months. First payment, DMV taxes, fees due at signing, $3,500 cash or trade, 7,500 miles per year. Must have lease loyalty. See dealer for details. Exclusions apply. Or how about a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe? Up to 50% off the MSRP with 7 to choose from. Some of these units have hail damage, but that means you could save big, up to 50% off the MSRP, part of Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's hail sale. The Black Friday sales event is underway at Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Route 96 in Victor. You can find out more online at victorcdjr.com. Well, in this episode, I get to know someone I've known for a while. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I think you're going to fall in love with Madge Madigan. She has her own podcast. It's called Madge Unmuted.
That's about my show. You can be inspirational, and you can have fun, and you can learn stuff, and you can be intellectual, and you can be fun. That's been my whole philosophy on life, is that, because, you know, and I'm sure we'll get into this, I went through a lot of really hard times. And the one thing that I always did to get through it was humor.
And man, does she have a story.
She's like, I know that at Mercy, you all wear the
uniform,
same clothes. And nobody.
It sort of makes it.
Broke my heart, but it was also like, okay, good, because that's all I want you to worry about.
She even wrote a book about her experiences, which she's rereading now to work on another project.
I was rereading this book, and I was reading about times that I would go on dates.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't ever make anything go. And I'm reading it and I'm like, shit, I wouldn't date me.
Get to know one of the strongest people I've ever known even better right after this. If you're looking for the perfect spot this weekend, you got to experience upscale casual dining with a family-friendly feel at Cobblestone on Main. Whether you're going there for your first time or maybe you've been there before, the aim is always the same at Cobblestone on Main, to make you feel right at home. This Saturday night, they're turning up the charm with a very special living room sessions. That's right. Come enjoy the amazing sounds of my friend Phelan and his band, The Living Room Sessions, as they play live from 6:30 to 9:30. Bring your family, bring a date, and settle in for a cozy evening of fantastic music and delicious food. All at Cobblestone on Main, 109 West Main Street in the Village of Webster. If you're looking for a defense attorney who truly has your back, it's Steve Cirque and Cirque Law. At Cirque Law, they believe everyone deserves a fair defense. Steve Cirque and his team work tirelessly to ensure your rights are protected and that no stone is left unturned in building your case. Whether you're facing a DWI or accused of something you didn't even know you did, Cirque Law is there to defend your rights and personal freedoms. Criminal cases, they've seen it all, from simple misdemeanors to serious felony offenses. Steve Cirque and his team have been there, done that successfully. Their secret? Preparation. They prepare for every possible scenario to ensure the best outcome for you. So if you've been charged with a crime and need a defense attorney with integrity, experience, and results, choose Cirque Law. 585-385-2510 or visit CirqueLaw.com. Make sure your rights are protected with Cirque Law.
When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport. And driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Thanks for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Boy, today, I don't know what's going to happen here. But I'm excited because I went on Madge Unmuted and I thought, oh, this will be fun. And then Madge said, I'm going to be in town so I could come in studio. And I thought, that's even better. Even better.
Hooray.
It's amazing. So why don't we start with this question? What made you want to do the Madge Unmuted podcast? What was the impetus behind that?
No one else would hire me.
Okay.
Really, kind of.
You had something to say and you wanted to say it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was it. I had been wanting to get back on the air for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was COVID. And I thought, what can I do? And I saw, Fitz's thing on Facebook, and I'm like, I'm doing this. And I contacted him, and I said, I've got some things, I've got work to do.
Yeah. And how's it been going? I mean,
it's been going, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
I took a while off last year because I actually got a contract position for, I was doing social media for a streaming platform.
Okay.
And that was going fantastic. And I was working like 50 hours, and then they went under. So I decided, now I got the time again, I'm going to go back at it.
Yeah. It's a fun, freeing thing to do. I think everybody should go.
Oh,
The biggest problem that you'll find with podcasting is I think that people don't know what they expect. They come in with an expectation, right? You got to go in no expectation and let it build and be consistent. And that's it.
Yeah. That's the thing. When I first started, people, and I know you probably get this, what's it about? What are you going to do? And it was just going to be it's going to be conversations with people.
Yes.
It's like being in a bar and having a conversation with someone, and you just want to learn about them and have some laughs, and you can do all of those things. So I just kind of let it, like when you came on my show last week, I don't know if you said afterwards, you're like, I wasn't sure what this was going to be. And I was like, that's part of the beauty of it.
Right. Well, it was sort of how I felt. I wasn't sure that I was good because I know that you laughs and you do things. And I all of a sudden I go, what am I? I'm like preaching or something. I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't want to.
That's the beauty. That's about my show. You can be inspirational, and you can have fun, and you can learn stuff, and you can be intellectual, and you can be fun. That's been my whole philosophy on life, is that because and I'm sure we'll get into this, I went through a lot of really hard times, and the one thing that I always did to get through it was humor.
Yeah. No
matter how tough it can be, I have some really dark jokes about, like, when my father was dying, and it's that dark Irish humor.
Yes.
And that's even when you're talking about tough stuff, you can still laugh about it.
Yeah, I agree.
For the most part.
No, I agree. I mean, Jesus, to me, I don't think I was fully aware of your story.
Oh,
with the kids and stuff, because what I see now is you visiting the kids, the beautiful daughters, handsome son, everybody's successful, doing well, and then you start telling the story on Madge Unmuted, and I'm like, this is the stuff to me that I feel like needs to be recognized, and I think it also needs to be for people to sort of see that you can, and I think there's a lot of trepidation right now, right?
Yes.
Worry about what's to come. And what's America anymore?
Yes.
And I still think it's a land of opportunity. I really do.
I do too. I don't even know. I have so many things I want to say to that, but
say anything you want, because there's no wrong answer to it. I think you and I are probably on the same side of things. Like I see that. I actually copied and pasted because I saw your post yesterday, and I wasn't. And then you had mentioned in one of the lines, you said, "I'm going to take it down," and I thought, I didn't know whether to bring that up at some point or not, just because it's fair. You did put it out on a platform.
Yeah.
And I thought I kind of like the rawness of it and the realness of it.
Thank you. And that was the intention of it. And I took it down today, finally, when somebody that I went to high school with, who was on the far, far, far side, and you saw that post was really pretty vague. It was just about...
I kind of got the gist of it, but it wasn't nasty or mean.
Right, I didn't mention, but it's also about a lot of things in my life.
Well, that's what I thought, too.
Yeah.
I figured this is like a mushroom cloud of something.
It was about how, I was always taught, be a good girl, be a good person, and all good things will come to you. Well, I've found that a lot of different people in my life, and now that the shittiest person wins. And it's very disheartening. Yeah. And so today, somebody who, I've put her on, I've had her muted because she's kind of a kook. Yeah. And she said, I know what this is about. This is awful. And then she went on and on about what a wonderful person he is, and went on and on about that, and like, I know what you're doing, and I'm weird. She's telling me I'm a terrible person, right? And then did the old do your own research, and I didn't even respond. I wanted to say, leave it to you to go. This was me being raw about me. I never mentioned anybody.
No, you
I
didn't.
never mentioned politics. Nope. I just meant my own
and
personal...
you have other things.
Yeah,
You're a human being with many sides. Yes.
Exactly. And I've had some really horrible people in my life that have always come out smelling like a rose. And I'm like, God damn it. How does this person always land on top? Yeah. So she did that. And I was like, you know what? Done. Because every other person, there was probably, 20, 30 comments, and they were all, keep being you, Madge.
Right.
Don't give up, you know, and that's all I was looking for. Just wanted to see if anybody else felt the same way. And no, she's got to bring out that crap. And I'm like, good God. No.
But isn't that sort of the fun of it? Not
at all.
Well, here's what I believe. I believe that human beings thrive on drama.
Oh, well,
or look for drama. And when we don't have drama, and when we don't have, let's say, physical wars in our world, right? Yeah. We'll find them, and we'll create wars on drugs, and wars against this, and wars against that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
And all these things, and I go, boy, we just really like the drama. And when you say that to people, go, I don't like drama. I'm not dramatic at all. And I really think that it is, and it's part of it's just part of the human experience.
It is. And it's also part of the human experience that most people want. How do I hate to put it so simplistically. I don't know. Put it
simply.
A lot of people just need somebody to hate.
Yes.
Shit rolls downhill.
Well, here's the thing that I have come to believe in life. You ready for this? Everything that happens to you in some way is your own fault. You brought it on in some way. And it is so much easier, and it feels good to blame, because blame is better than loathing. And I don't, you get older and older, and you start to see things, and sometimes we see how silly we are and stuff. And I always say to at least my youngest son, and any of them that'll listen to me anymore, to
hear me on that one.
Climb that emotional scale. Right? Blame is better than loathing. Okay, I get it. But let's move past that and realize that some of this is your fault, and always go for the better feeling thought, because feelings are really the indicator of where you are in life.
Well, yeah. And so loathing in what?
Self-loathing. Self-loathing, like I'm upset, it's my fault, then I can blame, but it's easier to blame. It feels better to blame that it's not my fault.
I've gotten past that, and in some ways, my whole life, it was the Catholic guilt thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, everything was. Are
you what some people recall a recovering Catholic, or do you still practice?
I go a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I still have faith that there's something greater than me. Do I believe in, everything, the Bible, gospel, whatever. No, I don't believe that the Catholic Church controls me. I honestly go to I go to Mass more for the ritual.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about meditating last time.
Yep.
And part of meditating, or some forms of meditating, is doing something repetitive to get yourself in a thing. And really, that's what part of the ritual of Catholic Mass is.
Yes.
You know,
the rosary, all of it.
Yeah, the rosary, the reciting the prayers, the stand up, sit down, fight. You know what I mean? It's but yeah. So anyway, that's why I go. So, and it was Catholic guilt, and one of the best things I ever did. So to go in between blaming other people and blaming myself on everything,
right.
I've come to a great saying is, sometimes it just is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like the most healthy thing. Acceptance is one of the most healthy things you can arrive at.
Yeah.
Is just, you know what? Sometimes stuff just is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take accountability if it's something, you know, whatever. But if not, it just is.
What have you learned through all this stuff in life? Because going back, for people who may not be familiar, Madge really raised 3 kids by herself, completely on her own. Wound up evicted, you said, from places?
Yeah, twice.
Right? Twice. And yet, I don't know, it's like the picture, the people don't match the picture that's painted, right? If I think of people who are evicted, it's like everything's shitty, and you get in that depression, and it becomes a spiral, and you don't feel like getting out of bed, and you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
No. And it's funny, and I wrote that book, 10 years ago.
I love the name of it.
Thank you. When life gives you lemons, at least you won't get scurvy.
Can you still get on like Amazon and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
And so one of the chapters I wrote, it's actually more of just like a collection of essays of stuff I went through, like blog entries. And one of them was, am I supposed to have a uniform to look poor? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I would be nicely dressed like I am now, and because I was working. I was working like a minimum wage job, but I didn't have enough to support 3 children under 18. And that was even part-time. Sometimes I would have no job. Sometimes it was just this clusterfuck. So anyway, because their dad took off after we got divorced. And but so I was working, and you pull out the EBT card, or you go into the doctor's office and give the Medicaid card, and they're all like I'm running some sort of scam.
Because you're dressed nicely.
Yes. Yeah. And so am I supposed to have stained pajama pants and slippers and an ankle monitor on, in order for you to accept me? But also, I'm that unicorn welfare person that I'm supposed to be. They just need a temporary hand up, But then when I'm that textbook person that you want me to be, you're still judging me. So you in life, a lot of times you can't win.
No, my father was a big one on always, dress well because you get treated better. So when I go to, when all the boys were little, I think we had a fast pass to the emergency room, but I always had a collared shirt on standby because you got treated better. You just did.
Yes.
And I'm sure when you handed out that card, it was kind of like people were not expecting, right?
Right.
And we have an expectation, and we're not supposed to judge, but we're animals and we all judge, and we're going to judge. And I still think you should always try to put your best foot forward. And look your best, because it also makes you feel better.
Exactly. And I was still I was still trying to better myself. I'm trying to get in this hole.
Yes.
I had not, like I said, I told my kids, this will not define us. So it's just keep going, keep being the person that you want to be.
Yep.
Even though, you might not have all the money to do all the things, there were times I couldn't even get a video from Blockbuster because I just didn't have $3 extra, But what I was going to say too is that anything I ever had was, was like Target clothes, Marshall clothes. I just was dressed fine. But also, I had them from before.
Yes. Right.
When I was married, when my ex-husband was paying, whatever. And so then that's the other thing that always bugs me when you'll see somebody who's very, like somebody at the store pulls out EBT and they're like, oh, but they can afford $1,000 iPhone, whatever. It's like, I had this before. Also, how the fuck do you think they're going to get a job? This is the entire world right 100%. Now. And you can pay for it on time, or you can get the free one with the plan or whatever. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like people want you to like sell everything you own before you, go and get those benefits. And it's like, that's not helpful. And one, it doesn't, you try and sell your iPhone, you know what you're going to get for it?
Nothing.
$100. Yeah. $20.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. It's all the, everybody has a preconceived notion. So going back to, you asked me what I've learned. It's just that sometimes stuff is what it is. You can't let it define. You just have to move on. And also what other people think of me is not my business.
Oh my God. For real? Yeah. I love that saying. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, where is it? Look at this coaster. It's all the shit I've said on the podcast that some guy made. And I'm pretty sure that statement's on there.
Yeah, someone else's opinion is none of your business.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. Like, thrilled.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really hard, right? Again, I'll always say easier said than done. We're sensitive. We have feelings as much as we don't want to admit them. I have been accused of not having nerve endings at times, but you have feelings. You do get hurt. We're human beings. We want to be accepted. We are pack animals by kind of our existence.
Yeah, and here's one you'll find surprising, that when I got out of college, my parents were moving to Arizona to retire. And they're like, okay, bye. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? There's no place for me to go. I'm not going to a senior community out there. So I decided to go down to North Carolina where my college boyfriend was getting his PhD. So I go down there. Long story short, we get engaged. And then 6 weeks before the wedding, which was a year and a half after that, I realized I couldn't go through with it.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
The invitations already went out.
Yeah, I had a similar situation.
Yeah, and when one day I physically got ill, and that was my body like, you cannot go through with this. And my whole family was all over the country, and they were all coming to.
Yeah, sure. Everybody's invested money into this and time.
And my sister's wedding was going to be the week before, so we planned this whole. Yeah. So I went to...
Wait, was your old man footing the bill for all this?
Fuck no.
Oh.
No.
No. I go 2 girls.
No. We were both paying for our own thing. So then when I felt like horrible, like, oh my God, I'm going to let all these people down. And I went to the priest that we had gone to pre-Cana with. And because that was kind of the only person I had that was sort of a guide at the point. Yeah. But he was wicked cool. He was this old Boston priest with a thick Boston accent. And I said, I'm afraid of what people are going to think or what are they going to say, whatever. And he's like, let me tell you a story. He said, I was going back to this priest reunion. He's like, and I got passed over for this and passed over that, and I was so worried. I went to this thing, and I was all worried about everybody was going to say about me, and I went there, and I was so worried, and not one person even mentioned it or said it, whatever. And he said, the thing I learned is people don't think about you as much as you think they do.
Boy, I am so glad that you're saying everything that I believe, but it's always those moments, right?
Yeah.
It's the person on Facebook that reached out today, whatever. They're probably not thinking of you more. You may have spent more time thinking about them in the response. And it's a hard thing to wrap your brain around. It's very easy to say these words, but it's so important because I think you probably have lived by that.
Yeah.
What other people's opinion, because I got to tell you, lady, that is some strong shit as a young woman to realize this marriage isn't, this person isn't what I want. Having moved there for the person, then realizing, facing that fear of how many people have been in that position, Madge, and did not do that, knowing this wasn't right, and have never been fully satisfied the rest of their life, or in any capacity, right?
I have had so many people tell me that, boy, I should have called that engagement off, you know, and I can't believe I'm getting anxiety about this, but I was always the kind of black sheep, you know, creative one, party girl-ish, and when after college, everyone was like, well, you need to settle down now. You need to get a normal job, and you need to find someone, and this will be good for you, and do this. And, you know, and after a while, I'm like, this is not what I want to do. And this guy was, you know, it was fun in college, but this isn't the person for the rest of my life. And when I was going to call it off, I got some attitude from my immediate family that I was being irresponsible by calling off the wedding. Right. And so nowadays people say, "Oh, that's great. You had such courage. You knew that this person wasn't right." But I had that on top of it.
How old are you at this time? 22?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Young.
23, 24.
Right,
yeah.
young. Really young. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And how many people would cave, especially in an Irish Catholic family, where you're kind of just, for lack of a better term, you eat shit because that's what they're serving, right? And
exactly.
And you don't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't say anything. You just, and everything's fine. It's okay. But boy, it could be so much better. That's strong for you to do that at that age. And then the other stuff, do you ever just stop? And I hope I'm not making you uncomfortable, but stop in any way and look at where you are today and think of all this stuff and go, man, the strength, the inner strength.
No.
No,
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, raising the kids, going through all that stuff, the EBT, that's some gutsy stuff.
Yeah, I think, it's funny that you say that, because when I was in it and raising the kids, I had to just survive.
Yeah.
I had to put food on the table. I had to make sure my kids were still happy and healthy. And
what did you do for you during that time?
Nothing. Oh, drank sometimes.
Okay. Well, I don't mean that to be funny. And my point is, I often think that in order for you to be good for anybody else, you kind of got to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you can't when there's not the means to or the time to.
Right. So, the time that I did, as the kids got older, and because for a while I had them 24/7 with nobody to help unless the stars aligned and I got them all to have sleepovers at friends' house. Right. And then mom went out and got hammered. And then I, sobered up and I went to sleep, and the next day I got up and I did it all over again.
Yeah, I made banana bread and made everybody happy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it wasn't I'm not saying I got, I don't know, I was out doing anything salacious, but it was just I would
I think anybody can understand who has had children,
and
especially by themselves at any point. It's not easy.
No.
It's a lot.
And you know why? There's always those jokes today, or you see tote bags with, mommy needs her wine and, all that stuff, because it's true. That shit gets to you, and you need your wine sometimes or whatever it may be. So that's what I did. I did absolutely nothing for years except just try and make some sort of money.
Right.
So then, I kid you not, oh my God, I'm I've just shoved all this shit down.
Yeah.
I know that I needed to, work through it. That would be healthier. But I kid you not, when my third went off to college, that first semester, I dropped her off. I came home, so that meant all three kids were out of were 2 of them were in college. One was already graduated college. I came home and fell on the floor and sobbed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it was uncontrollable. It wasn't like a cognizant, conscious thing.
When I get home, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Just walked in
I
and
walked
it
in.
hit you.
I walked in. I saw the empty rooms, and oh my God, I'm getting verklempt. I literally fell to the floor, sobbed, was in like fetal position, just that sobbing like someone who'd lost someone permanently.
Yeah.
And it was just this wailing, and I was like, where the fuck is this coming from? But I guess I needed to get it out. And I think it was everything.
Sure it is.
From
the culmination.
My abusive relationship to the failed relationship to my dreams of the family falling apart. Oh my God, this is getting so heavy. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, because my point is that you can survive things and you can do it with grace.
Yeah.
I which sounds silly and ridiculous.
No,
but I think that most people looking in from the outside to your life, casual observers, people who maybe your kids went to school with, parents you would see, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need to. Yeah.
Right.
And there's some pride in that, I think. I certainly, my parents, my mom and dad were teachers. My mom, back in the day, you could take maternity leave then was like 2 years, right? She was, right, exactly. So she had my sister, and then she got pregnant with my brother after 2 years, and my father said there was like no money. So he learned to sew and would go to these children's clothing stores. Yeah. My dad is one of the few people I would say is absolutely a genius. Doctorate in philosophy, but that was later. But he would go to the high-end children's clothing stores and look at the patterns for my sister, and then he would go and make the coat with the velvet lapels and things like that, so she never looked poor.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So...
You know what I'm saying? And so you can do it and there's pride in it, because nobody wants to be treated differently because of anything.
Right. So my kids ended up going to Mercy and McQuaid.
Yeah.
My son started at McQuaid just before my ex split. And so even then that he was around, I still didn't have a lot of money. So I just got him, he had like 2 sport coats, 4 shirts.
Boys at McQuaid don't care.
Yeah, and 2 ties, right. Yeah. And, a couple pairs of pants. And he just wore the same things. And he didn't give a shit.
No, they don't.
Right. And
Boys don't.
Yeah. And I don't think that sport coat ever left his locker.
They don't.
I know. I was like, that thing is filthy. Can you bring it home at break so I can dry clean it? And then when he brought it home, I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. You walked around with it looks like a baby spit up on your lapel, But anyway, so my girls, all the kids I had moved back here from Denver, and the kids were all at Brighton. And the girls were like, oh my God, McQuaid is so neat. This is such a great atmosphere, whatever. So when my daughter, the middle one, got to 7th grade, she's like, I think I want to go to Mercy. And I was like, I wasn't planning on that one, but okay. But, when you're poor, they'll give you a lot of money, which is nice. So I found out later, she said one of the reasons she wanted to go to Mercy, because she was at Brighton, and she's very, very outgoing, very gregarious girl, but like all of her friends that she played soccer with were all very wealthy, and they all had the brand names. Yep. And she, I guess, I don't know if, they made fun of her. She felt bad, because she didn't have, juicy on her ass. And, I was
just what every parent wants on their daughter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you wouldn't have had it if we could afford it. So, and she's like, I know that at Mercy, you all wear the
uniform,
same clothes, and nobody.
It sort of makes it
broke my heart, but it was also like, okay, good, because that's all I want you to worry about is.
Right. And I would think probably, I certainly don't ever want to speak down on a public education at all.
Yeah.
But I do think that she probably was better. It's a prep school. Yeah, I would assume. I only have experience with McQuaid, and I would say it's a prep school.
Yeah. And, every school has its drawbacks.
Yes.
And because, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, my God, I would never want to go to a same-sex school. Boring. Right. And, at first, my son was like in tears because he loved being at Brighton, but he knew that it was better because he's like, well, there's no girls there. But when the girls went there, and I thought this, but thank God they arrived at it themselves. They said, it's actually kind of easier to learn because you're not worried about embarrassing yourself in front of the boys or what they think, or you could talk. Am I like, whew,
yeah.
Okay.
I do. I think it's even better for boys because I think guys are different. I think that there's, I always think boys need to run around and burn off steam and wrestle, and we don't allow the wrestling. Not that they're allowing that in McQuaid. That's not my point, but they handle things differently.
But they do. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I mean, every gym class was, going ramming around and beating on each other. There's no square dancing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And it was steam that way.
It was a great, and I liked it, and it was really, I thought, perfect for young men. I really did. I speak very highly of it, and I now have one in public school that I wouldn't really put there because I don't know that he can handle the rigors. Yeah. I don't know that it was just a lot. There was a lot of work.
It is not for everybody.
Right.
It is not for everybody. And there's a lot of things my son didn't like about it after the fact. But that's when he became, went to NYU and Mr. Super Intellectual, now I'm agnostic and I love my son, but, and I'm not controlling that. You got to believe in what you got to believe
100%.
in. I have a couple friends where I live that they are trying to beat into their children that they're going to be Christians and all that. And I'm like, girl, it's going to blow up in your face. But
it's usually where you push against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, my son, and also he didn't, I don't know, my kids have always been like me, like individuals, and like I'm not going to conform. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not going to be, you like me, you don't. I'm not going to be in I'm not going to be in certain crowds.
Okay.
I will if you want, I will. I'm not railing against them, but like, anyway, so I'm trying to tiptoe around this. Jack by the end was like, I just don't care.
Right.
And I'm on to bigger and better things and not here to be prom king.
Right.
I'm just here and, and there were people, everybody, even me. There's people that liked me in school. There's people that didn't. I would like that. I don't ever want to be mean to anybody, whatever, but I can't help what you think of me. Some people aren't just everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah. So what's next? What's next? Another book, another thing?
That's funny. I started redoing my book that I had written. I went back and as you inspired me, I've been cleaning it up. And as going,
you ever read any of it now and go, holy shit, how did I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing now. And it's really kind of, that's kind of what inspired that Facebook post.
Yeah. Gotcha. I see. Okay. That makes sense.
So I've been reading all these things that I went through, and part of me is like, oh God, I don't want to think about that. I got through it. I don't want to revisit that. But then part of me is like, wow, look how far you've come.
Boy, I bet it sounds to me, and just hear me out for a second, almost like reading it and then writing how you feel about it today.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I just think that would be fascinating.
Thank you, because that's what I wasn't sure on the angle to go, because it only goes through 2013.
Okay.
And I still had, that's just to the part where my son got to college. So I've got the whole last 10 years of how I got 3 kids through college and to be successful. And so I'm trying to think, how do I write the part 2?
Yeah.
How do I do that? And I wasn't sure of how to do that, because I like that idea.
Well, that's just going through the old stuff. I wonder if it even would be at some point interviewing your kids. How uncomfortable would that?
I think about that all the time.
Because I go, God.
Right. I want to be respectful to them because they had their journey and they still, I hate that word. That's so overused, journey. They had their own path.
Yeah.
And they are back now to having a relationship with their father.
Okay, good.
Because he got sober and he started to reappear, and they were freaking out, crying, screaming, "Mom, I just got text from Dad. What do I do?" It was like seeing a ghost. And I kept talking them through it, like, what do you want to do? And a lot of people were telling me, like, oh, fuck him, and don't let that.
I would have done what you did.
Yeah.
Let them come to their own conclusion.
Right.
It's not my relationship with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kept talking him through. And the first one to meet up with him was my son. And I hope I'm not telling anything out of turn. You know, like I worry about my son's 30 now.
Yeah.
We're kind of, but you know, he doesn't know anybody around here anymore. So he was the first to meet up with him. My ex went to New York City, and he kept calling me from his dorm. He was like, "Mom, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And I'm like, he's like, "I don't know what to tell Dad. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to meet up with him." He's like, "1 minute I do, 1 minute I don't." I said, all those feelings are valid. You feel all those. I said, "Tell your dad that." And he goes, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna cry, throw up, or punch him in the face." And I said,
"Yeah, tell him
they're all valid. Tell
Right.
him that." I said, and he's like, "I don't." I said, "Tell him I don't know if I get in there and I turn around and leave, that might be something I do." I'm like, "Tell him." I said, "Everything you feel is valid, and you have the right to tell him. So do that." And it's taken a few years, but they've all, worked through it. I said, don't let him off the hook about anything. Just tell him what you feel. There's no wrong.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Absolutely.
Did you ever do therapy?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, yes.
Or were you just that wise? As well, and
No,
I don't mean that to be. I don't
thank
mean
you.
that.
No.
That's like a really, I think, very in tune to your kids to say, "I'll be a sounding board, but I'm not going to tell you how to handle this."
That I have to say was on my own, but it.
See,
but
okay,
but I think therapy lent to that. I mean, I had to go through therapy, or I would have walked into traffic about 18 times over, and I'm making jokes about it, but
You'd be that lady on the Bentley leaning forward. You ever see the Bentley hood ornament?
Exactly. No, I wouldn't be that graceful. I would just step out when the RTS bus was coming and have it be over with. But I had to.
Yeah.
It was for those kids, and I did. It wasn't some sort of like I'm the main character in a movie. No. It was just that was my innate, because that's what my mother did. My mother was always raising 6 kids in the beginning my father had a Buick dealership that was going under, and it was up to my mother to hold shit down.
Right.
So, and she had, her father died, her brother died, her baby died. It was like, my mother was just like, "Okay, get through this day. Are y'all fed? Okay. Are you clean?" And that's what I got it from her.
Yeah. This is just never say never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you call yourself an optimist?
I am now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I am now. It's
better.
Yeah.
It is. It's just a better way to be.
I was Eeyore forever. Yeah. And I had it. Luckily,
so funny I call people Eeyore.
I had a few people snap me out of it. Like, "Get the fuck over yourself." That's literally what they said to me.
Yeah, well, the pity party's great for a minute. Then you got to get up and do stuff.
And, then speaking of that, I was rereading this book, and I was reading about times that I would go on dates.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't ever make anything go. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, shit, I wouldn't date me either. Like, God, you are depressing as fuck. It was like, it would be a great
podcast series for you to go through the book. It would be funny to do an audio book with your commentary now. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. Thank you. I can make fun of it now. But hindsight, yeah. It's so funny, Bill, that you say that, because I've thought about all those angles.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started my podcast, I'm like, I'm going to take a chapter or a story out of my book each week, and blah, 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 blah. And I just don't think I went about it right. I think I was trying to go about it too, like, clinically.
Oh, I see.
You know, like,
yeah.
Dealing with change. This is what we do. And now I think if I went back and told stories, I'm far enough removed from it.
You know? Sure. You see it through a different lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think also with anything you do, you get better the more reps you do. I don't care what it is. So the more times you do the podcast, then you get this rhythm and you start to see and you go, I didn't do it right, but it's not done. Go do it again.
Right.
There's no wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to, because I think sometimes in this world now, especially since I have young kids and they're very social media savvy, and they're all like, they'll come home on a holiday and they'll be speaking a language I don't even understand because it's just like catchphrases from TikToks, but it's like really esoteric shit. My kids are like really intellectual. I'm like, oh my God. Like, the one they did forever, and this isn't even that esoteric, but did you ever know the Bing Bong? It was this guy he was just some really New York City guy, and he'd walk around saying, hey, but, go, I don't know, there was all these catchphrases, but at the end of everything, he'd go bang, bong, and that's the sound that the subway makes when the door's about to close. Yeah. So, anyway.
It meant the conversation's over.
Right.
Yeah.
So then
this is boring.
So then my kids, will speak this. So I've been I went off a tangent. My ride's here. The tugboat's here.
Do you know what that is? That noise?
Is it a tugboat?
No, it is not.
Bridge is going up.
So Fairport voted to keep that. It's an emergency. That's how they used to call the volunteers or whoever. Yeah. Right. So they had the horn. Well, now everybody's on an electronic leash, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? So you can get there. So there's no need for that. They decided to keep it.
That is so funny because they have that in Dunkirk too. It was how they would call out to the volunteer firemen.
Yes.
And I live right near it's like the town of Dunkirk kept it. And I'm in the city, but the town is just that way. And every once in a while I'll hear this. And I'm like, oh God, who
died?
Yeah, which one am I? Who do I know that got a DUI now? No, that's terrible. I shouldn't make jokes. But anyway, the social media stuff. At first I got really discouraged because I'm like, look at this idiot is a TikTok star. I should be famous right now. Why am I not getting thousands of views? And I was so focused on that. You think this shit should happen overnight, but I'm with you where like you just have to keep doing it and find your groove.
That's it.
And now I've tried to focus less on views and likes, and although it would help, subscribe to Madge Unmuted while you're here.
Subscribe to Madge Unmuted. Check out the podcast. It is really, really good. But I would say too that going along with that same thing, take that same philosophy of I don't care what anybody's opinion is. Just I will say when in radio, at the end of the day, you never had anything tangible.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And so I find real satisfaction in building something.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, even if I fucked it up, putting up a new door in the house, I did it. Yeah. Right? I did it. And radio, you got your results 3 months later and this and that. Yep. So there was always that thing with me, and I liked that other side of things. And I think even here with your podcast, now you kind of have something, right? There's a recording. You get to hear it back. You can edit it. It's a little more tangible than just out into the ether and never to be heard again. And I think that to just do it for the satisfaction of you, and I swear to God, Madge, that'll be all the difference. I really do think that. You got a lot to say. Oh, you got a lot to teach.
You. Yeah.
I think you got a lot to teach.
Yeah. Thank you. I started being a little more vulnerable like that on TikTok too.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh my God, you're a breath of fresh air.
Oh, look at this. Isn't that great? How's that feel?
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
It does, but deep down inside of me, I got Father Walters saying, you're nothing special.
Why do I do that?
I know.
Why did we do that? Did you ever have? I had
to flog myself.
There's I think I was told you need to have your head examined.
Oh my God.
Did you ever get those? Of course you did.
Actually had I actually had my second grade teacher call my mother and tell her that I was a junior devil.
A junior devil.
Junior devil.
How do you get up in the ranking?
I know. That was me. I was like, how can I move up the ranks? This is an MLM. Can I become the senior? Can I be a regional director, Lucifer? Yeah. And
you always wonder, why were those people around kids?
Why the
fuck were they around kids? I don't get it.
Well,
they didn't like them.
Because why does anybody do anything? Full circle, back to our original thing, to feel better about themselves.
Of course.
To take out their anger on someone smaller, lesser, that's not going to,
I would always think you'd want to be around kids because you can learn stuff. You can see stuff. They're a little freer than the rest of us. They don't have all the bullshit in their head yet.
I know. And I was just telling John the other day that, like, somebody was bitching about, we have the STAR exemption.
Okay.
And that's if you don't have anybody in school at the moment, you don't have to pay the school tax or reduced tax or whatever the hell it is. And I actually saw somebody online just bitching about, why do we have to pay that? I'm like, who do you think is going to sustain this community? Mm-hmm. Do you want, we need to keep bringing kids into school, and your money has to do it because they're going to take care of your ass. They're going to govern your ass. They're going to lead you. They're going to be your doctor. They're going to be, and they have so much to teach you. You can learn from anybody in your walk of life. You can even learn from the person that's being the biggest asshole on the face of the earth. And, like, that's what I want to be, a social influencer. I want to influence people to not be an asshole. That's what I want to do. So why would you can learn from anybody.
So
why
what do you do? I think that's a great umbrella to get under. I really do. Teaching you how not to be an asshole in TikTok, like it's like raw etiquette.
Yeah. I
love this.
Be a decent human being, for God's sake. I just don't, I think that's what I said at the end of that post is like,
yeah, you did.
Some of you, it's Schadenfreude that is that how you pronounce it?
I know what you mean, Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude, yeah. And that, you get your joy from somebody else's misery or making them feel like shit. But then I said, some of these people just will never be happy. And I've noticed it after the election, even if you're on the winning side, they just are like, just trying, gloating and still going on about the other candidate. It's like, you won. You don't have to worry about, why are we still complaining about this person? The people have spoken and all that, blah, blah, blah. And so I just went off on a tangent. What was I talking about? But some of these people are just never going to be happy.
No, they're not.
And if somebody that I can't completely help you, if you got so much deep-seated crap, then you need meds and therapy and anger management. But maybe if there's somebody that's on the fence that I can just say, God, just you can be your own happiness, and that starts with you not being a dick.
I always think that I'll take it to social media with kids, and the fact that parents will go, well, how do I get them off this, or how do I? The one thing, you're never going to put the social media genie back in the bottle, and a kid's job is to always try to do what you don't want them to do. That's sort of the cat and mouse game that was developed by nature. But what you can do is build self-esteem in a kid. And it's not telling them they're great. It's by, when they do something great, going, God, do it again. How good does that feel?
Yeah.
And tap into that, because if you start to get your self-worth from inside instead of outside, you got a greater chance of not following the crowd. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or doing something that would be potentially dangerous or stupid.
It's also teaching your child critical thinking skills. Yes. And that's what I tried to do with my kid. Again, I know people that are like, they want to control every single aspect of what their kid, does, sees, smells, hears, whatever. And they won't let them have, what do they call it now? Screen time.
Yeah. Right.
And don't want to. They don't want them in public school because they'll be around this and others. Like, how does your kid know what happens when are they going to stay in their room their entire life? Right. You know, how does this kid's going to have to realize how to deal with people that aren't exactly like them in their life. Yeah. So you might as well teach them how. I mean, even if they're not going to work for somebody, maybe they're going to do their own work. They're going to have clients, customers. You have to interact with people at some point.
Yes. Social skills are something that is very,
and also it's just being a good fucking human being.
Right.
You know, I just, and
I think I'm going to call this episode just being a good fucking human being.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm all about that.
You need a t-shirt. You need something. You need some Madge Unmuted swag that says that. I really think so. I think that's great.
Because that's what I'm all about.
Well, I have my 14-year-old son's phone broke, so he's been without the phone. And I was looking at getting him one last week, and then I noticed he's a little cooler without the phone to me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And so I said, we'll look at some things. We'll have our drop dead date be Friday if something doesn't come about, because there's other people involved in this. And then and I said, we'll figure something out, because you need the phone. But boy, not to have that constant social. I mean, it is 24/7.
You know, I've been on kind of self-imposed, like, stay away. You keep subjecting yourself to that, and that's not healthy for you.
No,
Just
it's not.
Don't look at it. No. You're beating yourself up by doing this. I read an article, I don't know how true this is, that there's a trend that people are going to like non-smartphones.
I think I've heard that. I didn't read anything, but I've heard that.
I just
like back to flip phones
just an Android, whatever, just so that they don't have that constant.
Yeah. I know, but what would you do in a waiting room now?
I know, exactly.
You can't touch the magazines for all those heathens have touched. What are we going to do?
I know. Ew. Can I have some Clorox wipes before I go in here? But also, though, now, if you're a business person, that we depend on that online world, especially with what we do.
Yep.
And, you depend on that. So it's just don't get on the other stuff that is gonna
piss you off.
Oh, here's another quick thing. It's just thinking, don't do shit that is gonna bother you.
Love, like, we're inside your head.
It's like freaking racquetball going on in there. I was dating a guy that this was like 10, 12 plus 12, 13 years ago. I was dating a guy, and he wanted to act like he was having a relationship with me, but he still wanted to shtup other people.
Okay.
So he wouldn't commit, and I was working myself up over that. And so every once in a while, I would, on a Saturday night, I would go out to Wegmans, and then I would take the detour to go past his house to see if there was a car there. Right. And when I did, I would go apeshit in my head, not out to him or anything. I had all this anxiety, and she's like, how did you feel when you saw that? Whatever. And I'm like, terrible. And she's like, well, don't do that. And I'm like, what do you mean? But I got to know. And she's like, no, if you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know you're going to be, why bother? Right. Just assume it's going on, or deal with it that it is going on. And don't do that. You're just working yourself up. So that was another thing I learned.
But that's not easy to do.
Oh, it's not.
That is really hard to do in those kind of situations. That's where it's the toughest.
Yeah.
Because you do assume, and then your mind runs.
Oh, yeah.
And you get into all kinds of scenarios.
Right.
And then you picture yourself maybe even like barging up to the door. You'll never do it. Right. But in your head, there's this whole movie that's going on.
Right, exactly. And the one, it is good one time, like if, say, like me in my marriage, like I knew something was going on and he kept denying it, and I was like, okay, I just need that proof. And I found a note. And then I felt so much relief.
Oh, really?
Like, oh my God, okay. She's like, hi, love you. Whatever. Yeah. And I was like, really? And I was like laughing when I gave it to him. Yeah. Oh, and I literally said, who's fucking crazy now? Because that was his response to me. Yeah. And but like that was the end of it. Yeah. I'm like, I got my proof. I don't need to dwell on this anymore.
Right.
So luckily I had that. But yeah, the other one, I think I was just like misplaced anxiety. Yeah. Oh, let's get pissed off at this guy.
Yeah, sure. You're probably right in saying that. That's probably true, because there's an awful lot of stuff that you had a right to be pissed off about, but you just did it.
And that was another big thing I always try not to do is don't give somebody your misplaced anger. Because just like, I learned that like in business, but I try and do it in everything in life. Say it's like you work at a store, and or say you're going into a store and you're really angry and you take it out on the cashier. Yeah. They had absolutely nothing. Don't do that.
No, but you can nowadays. You might go viral.
Yeah, really.
Not on your own, but somebody else's TikTok.
Yeah, really.
But you're right. That is.
Looks like a peach. But especially with people you love. Like I learned my relationships going forward. It's like I'm not gonna take all my shit out on this person because, well, unless they deserved it. No. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know. You're speaking
because I had somebody do it to me.
Yeah. You're speaking a language that I am all too familiar with, and probably myself have done. And once you start to recognize it, and you go, I always think this: life would be nothing if you didn't have the contrast to know what you don't want and know what you do want.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So you need that contrast, and even in your behavior, you never get it necessarily wrong. Maybe you hurt somebody along the way. Apologies that are sincere are said once, and then you don't do the behavior again. That's a real apology.
Right.
This constant apology shit, okay.
Yeah.
It's time to walk away from that.
But
the rest of it, I don't know. You're fascinating. I had no idea. I had no idea. I really didn't. And I feel bad about that because I think that there's a lot of value there, and I get on that at Madge Unmuted. Weekly?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Okay. Yeah, but every 2 weeks a new episode comes out.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's everywhere.
Yeah,
you
can watch the video on YouTube, and I also have MadgeUnmuted.com.
Okay.
You can go on there, and then the audio is everywhere. Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, Apple.
Yep. Good. So that's good.
Wherever you buy your finer podcasts.
Well, get on Madge Unmuted, and thank you for coming in. I'd love to do this again with you sometime.
I would too.
I can do it remote or anything.
Yeah, I think we have such a great rapport. I feel.
Yes.
About you,
no, I
do. Because I was watching, and somebody said this to me. They were watching it, and they're like, "You seemed so jazzed when you were talking about stuff, especially like the music stuff, like the Quincy Jones."
Yeah.
And we were because that went on about philosophy and life, and it's just I really enjoyed it.
I do too. I do too. I always like that stuff.
Yeah.
And dick jokes are great. I'm not going to say that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You need to throw in a dick joke.
But to have a little more sometimes is nice. And the path, man, or what is the overstated term? Journey.
Yeah.
The journey you've been on. Damn, lady, that is something. It's impressive.
It's still going.
Yeah. Good.
It's still going.
Yeah.
I gotta. My next step is to somehow have a part-time residence near my kids.
And where are they? Mostly in New York. Are they all in New York City?
Yeah, the two girls live together in Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know Stamford.
And and then my son lives in Queens.
Okay.
And so, yeah, two of them.
Westchester's nice.
Yeah. Are you gonna pay my rent? Are you gonna buy me a house, Bill?
Rhinebeck is nice.
What is?
Rhinebeck.
Oh, I know.
It's a little more north.
Yeah,
My mom lives there.
I've looked in the whole. I have a couple friends that live in Kingston.
Yep.
And they are cool as fuck people.
You're right by Woodstock.
Yeah.
And you're right there.
Yeah.
That's where my mom lives.
Right. I mean, the one guy is a friend of mine from high school that plays in a band called Mercury Rev.
Okay.
Don't know if you've ever heard that. They were one of David Bowie's favorite bands. They've been
really
around for a while. Yeah.
How cool.
And Sean lives up there. They call him Grasshopper. And so he's just a really avant-garde guy, and he lives there. I'm like, hey, if it's good enough for him, So yeah,
I think you'd love that area.
Oh, I would. Every time I go there, I feel alive.
Yeah.
Literally, I feel.
But that would be like just far enough away from the kids, but not.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be up their ass.
No, you don't want to turn a corner and go, hey.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a little space, but you're much closer than you are here.
Yeah. It's like if you want to come over for Sunday dinner or whatever, or you want to invite mom out for drinks. It's like their friends all are like, when's your mom coming out?
So you're that mom.
Yeah.
That's an honor.
It's just because I know all the words to all the songs. I'm singing the rap songs, and they're like, we love Madge.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be. I think that the Kingston area you'd really like.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's beautiful. It's all the mountain, the Catskills, really rolling hills.
Oh, I have some. What town were you from?
So my mom lives in Rhinebeck now, but I'm from Clinton Corners, and I went to high school in Pine Plains.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yes. I have really good friends that have been living in Pleasantville.
Is it Pleasant Valley?
No, Pleasantville.
I don't know if I know Pleasantville.
I think Pleasantville, it's near Pearl River.
That may be a little further south.
Yeah, it's further south.
Yeah, I don't. Then I do know where Pleasantville. I think Pleasantville is really close to the Westchester area, isn't it?
Yes.
And
maybe
even more expensive.
I was saying it's totally.
If I remember,
the high rent district. Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Madge, go to Madge Unmuted. Check out MadgeUnmuted.com. Can you get links right there at MadgeUnmuted.com?
Yeah.
To all the podcasts?
Yeah. Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yep.
It's embedded. You can watch it right there.
It's awesome. Check it out.
Look social media.
Look for look on all the social media. Look for the book, When Life Gives You Lemons.
At least you won't get scurvy.
I love that title. And look for all the future projects that Madge is going to be doing. When she becomes a hippie and moves to Woodstock.
No, I won't be a hippie. I'll go back to my punk days.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I was. I'll go back to shaving the sides of my head.
All right. For Madge Madigan from Madge Unmuted, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you Monday.
Things have gotten worse. Seems a land of opportunity for me is just a curse. Tell that judge he make us feel. My title have to wait.